The 49ers played in Kezar Stadium. The Rams have moved back to St. Louis, and some of the rivalry is gone, but not all of it. This is still a very intense series. Now, the Rams have been criticized of late for not running the ball. What are they going to do tonight?
Well, Pat, Mike Martz has received a lot of heat in St. Louis because he's thrown the ball too much. So what? That's what the Rams do. They throw the football. And when you have a guy like Marshall Faulk, for example, a running back that has the ability to catch the ball as well as anybody in the league, and you've got an Isaac Bruce who's having a great year coming off of 2 terrific years, and then, of course, there's Torrey Holt. Put the ball anywhere in this man's area, and he's going to wind up catching the football. The Rams throw the football. That's what they do. They may not be the team that everybody called the greatest show on turf. They play fast and furious, and I think their brand of football right now, Pat, is real simple. It's speedball.
Speedball indeed. Now, the 49ers, Paul, have lost a lot of key players. They've managed to survive salary cap hell, but what can they do tonight to stop this speedball attack?
Well, gentlemen, in order to slow down speedball, the defense is really going to have to step it up. This is going to be a huge challenge for the 49ers defense tonight. We talked to Pro Bowl linebacker Julian Peterson the other day, and I said, what do you need to do against Mark Bulger, the quarterback of the Rams? He said, first of all, constant pressure. And then we got to force him out of the pocket. We cannot let him get his feet set, because if he can set his feet, he's going to burn you. And the other thing is, every time we get a chance to hit him, we got to whack him. And we're going to hear some of those whacks tonight because we have Julian Peterson wired.
Oh, it's going to be a good day today. Man, I'm ready to go, baby. Woo! All of y'all going home watching us win.
With all the talent in the NFL, what does it take to stand out?
Woo. That's some good company there. I'm just coming out, man, myself just coming out, and I'm just trying to stay consistent year after year, just trying to improve my game in whichever way I can, you know, listening to the coaches, taking their words for sure, and just going out in the summer and just working and just trying to put it together once the regular season starts.
Now, Mike Martz has been under fire for the offense being a bit one-dimensional. What does he tell you guys about his philosophy?
I don't think he's going to change for what anybody else has to say, and he's definitely not going to change for what we have to say. We love you know, what he brings to the table as far as head coach and our offensive coordinator. He allows us to go out there and we play fast, we play furious, and you know, everybody knows that we like to get the ball up the field, and I don't think we're ever going to change. As long as he's our coach, we're not going to change at all.
Have a great night.
Right on, I will. Thank you.
And Pat, the last time Torrey faced the Niners, 200 receiving yards. This could be fun.
You look at that record, it's hard to criticize what Mike Martz has done. 10-plus wins in 3 of the last 4 seasons, 3 playoff appearances. No question about Mike Martz being a brilliant coach. Dennis Erickson on the other side. The 49ers head man has got his work cut out for him. 7-12 last year. This is his 2nd year as the 49ers head coach, and they have undergone serious changes.
Well, and Pat, the problem is, and we'll get into it during the course of the game, is they just really have no place to go. They have no money in their cap situation, and they can't afford to get anybody hurt, Joe.
Jeff Wilkins to kick off, to Arnaz Battle and Jamal Robertson. Wilkins lines it deep to Robertson. Just shy of the 20. The 49er offense. Justin Smiley is the only rookie in the lineup. They say he is very good pulling in front of the runner. Hope he gets out. Eric Johnson, the T target for the 49er quarterback, whomever it might be. And Kevin Barlow leads the offense. He has the responsibility of being the lone runner this year after sharing time with Garrison Hurst. Barlow is deep. Number 32, Fred Beasley in front of him. The Ram defense, Leonard Little is the guy the 49ers have to account for. He is the man rushing the passer for the Rams. Tinoe Samoa, Pisa is his first name, the middle linebacker on the outside who had an outstanding week last week. in a losing cause. Aeneas Williams, the veteran who says he's still learning the nuances of the game. Eric Johnson and Aaron Walker, two tight ends set up. Tim Rattay back to throw it and finds Barlow. Barlow gets the 49er first down.
Tim Rattay finally back in the starting lineup, starting his 5th game as a 49er. Stayed around for 4 years, finally got his chance to play when Jeff Garcia moved on to Cleveland. Throws the ball down the field very well. When I had a chance to talk to Ted Tollner, their offensive coordinator, he said that he's very accurate down the field and something we need to put back in our offense.
First down, 49ers. Their own 31. Rattay back to throw it again. Pass is caught and hung on to by Eric Johnson. He missed most of last year with an injury, but has come back strong this year.
Well, I'll tell you what they did that time. They put Kevin Barlow out as a wide receiver, so that took a linebacker to cover him. That way they enabled him to open up the middle of the field and hit Eric Johnson down the middle. The safeties are not up. The linebackers didn't get deep enough.
That was Eric Johnson's 19th catch. He's their leading receiver.
Barlow cuts across middle field. Terry Jackson on a stop.
San Francisco offensively is starting to get into a good rhythm. They know that they just can't line up and try and run the football. They're going to have to mix it up. And so far, good protection for Rattay, good lines up front for Barlow.
It's Terry Jackson, not Barlow.
You know what, against this Ram defense, I don't really think you want to stretch it out against their linebackers because their linebackers are extremely fast. One of the things you have to do, and I think Kevin Barlow does that quite well, is to cut back real quick as soon as he sees the hole. But what they told us about him in the first 3 games, Joe, he was cutting back just a little bit too soon.
I think that's why we're seeing Terry Jackson in.
It probably is. It's again Jackson. Rattay back to throw quickly. Finds it tight end Eric Johnson again. Stopped by Tino Isamoa.
Tim Rattay doing a real good job of getting rid of the ball quickly. Watch this. Quick 3-step drop, look to your left, move the linebacker a second, find the little hole so that you can get the ball into Johnson. Eric Johnson knows exactly how far he needs to get for the first down. I really thought they missed him. The tight end position was one. He was out all last year on IR, and this offense really missed some play out of the tight end position.
Barlow is back. Pass is caught by Cedric Wilson. The 49ers.
Hey, is that who's wearing that uniform? Are they 49ers or are they?
Well, I'll tell you what, the 49ers are making this thing look a little bit too easy because we know that the St. Louis Rams, their defense is a little bit in question. But look at how easy this thing is, this throw out here to Cedric Wilson. I mean, he's wide open. I understand it's a quick slant, but nobody's up close to the line of scrimmage, and they've got to get on these receivers.
No running backs this time. 5 receivers for San Francisco. Quickly, incomplete.
Paul, he was listening to you.
Yep.
You do a good, you do a really good job of communicating to the corners when they play off a little bit, and then you say something, all of a sudden, bang, they're right there.
Well, the thing about it is, on that last play, Aeneas Williams would not allow the receiver to get off the line of scrimmage, and really, Rattay had no place to put the ball.
You don't say thank you for that compliment? You just
not yet, not yet. I want to hear one more, and then I'll thank you.
Okay.
We've never done 2 in a game.
There's a guy who played corner last week. Aeneas Williams was forced out to the corner. Now he's back more comfortably at the safety position.
Terry Jackson will be back again for San Francisco.
Here they come.
Jackson gets the carry. Robert Thomas.
So many times we hear, Joe, that you hear people say, well, there's a run blitz. Well, every blitz that you have,
if you run into the runner,
yeah, you always check the run first, and then you go to the quarterback, because if you go by a back that they hand the ball to, that run blitz and run, there's no such, to me, there's no such thing as a run blitz.
It happened in Green Bay today when Tiki Barber took off for a long run for a touchdown. Went right by the blitzers.
You got to check him.
3 wide receivers this setup. Rams again showing blitz. And they're coming. And they get there. Inoue Samora was the first man to arrive.
Well, and I'll tell you why he got there first. Because Tim Rattay had no place to throw the football. Every single one of the defensive backs got up on the receivers and jammed them. And he was trying to throw a quick pass. It wasn't there, and he had to eat the ball.
I don't think he even had a chance to look or set. This is the problem they had against Seattle last week. The 49ers up front couldn't handle the pressure of the Seahawks.
This would be a 48-yard field goal if they choose to attempt it.
Well, they got to get another guy on the field.
Yeah, they got to get a holder out there, too. It's Andy Lee, the punter. Timeout, San Francisco. They're still debating.
You know, this is a bad timeout.
Delay a game. Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's okay. I mean, you don't want to waste a timeout because it's 4th and 13 anyway, 4th and 14. 5 yards really only helps the punter if they want to take it. The Rams decide to decline it. We're right back to square one. No reason to use a timeout in that situation.
So it's Andy Lee to punt it, standing at the Ram 45. So he'd like to kick it straight up. Sean McDonald. 49ers were down to cover, but it bounced right past everybody, so they net 10 yards on the punt.
Joe Buck, you guys are on in 20.
Hey, look at Joseph. Leon always stands on the left, you know, to showcase my good side. So
I always stand on the left, and I wouldn't even worry about it. You look great.
Yeah, this is very true. Leon doesn't have a bad side, but I'm just saying, you see that dimple? It's my trademark dimple, baby.
This is my good side, too.
Look here, Joe, I hate to be the one to tell you this, man, but if that's your good side, you may want to stick to radio.
Joe Buck here with the legendary Leon.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
So the speedball machine that they call the St. Louis Rams takes over at their own 20. They do believe in throwing it up the field. And they do believe in a lot of formations. Marshall Faulk is the one deep. And he gets the carry. Jeff Ulbrich on the stop. The Rams offensive line, first of all, Orlando Pace. He might be the best tackle in the league. We watched him in film the day before yesterday, and he was unbelievable. Isaac Bruce off to a fantastic start. He's the model for every wide receiver, according to his teammate Torrey Holt. Marshall Faulk, who just carried the ball, the key man, really, to that speedball offense of the Rams. Kevin Curtis, sorry. The 49ers defense. Brandon Whiting just came over this year from the Eagles, adding some experience, very intelligent player. Julian Peterson, the key man on the 49er defense, in fact, their franchise player. And Mike Rump in the secondary, he's been hurt, he's back, and he'll have his work cut out for him today with Holt and Bruce. Ahmed Plummer is the injured 49er, and they can't afford to lose him either. The Golden Gate Bridge, spanning over a mile, was first opened to traffic way back in 1937. The Rams. Marshall Faulk is deep. They have the ball at their own 30. Faulk. About 8.
That's Ahmed Plummer who gets kicked in the knee. Watch Kevin Curtis is going to kick it. Watch his right knee. hits Ahmed Plummer's right knee. And they,
ouch.
You know, and when you said that, you know, they can't afford to lose anybody.
That's true.
I guarantee Shante Spencer, their second-round pick out of Pitt, is up on the left side. I think defensively you don't leave him alone, and if you're Mike Martz, you test him.
2nd and 2. Marshall Faulk, as good as he is as a runner, he might be even better as a receiver.
Watch number 44, good speed. Look at this block. Bam! Right in the hole. Marshall Faulk couldn't believe it was that wide. What a great block. He hit Derek Smith.
Derek Smith came around the corner thinking he was going to make a play, and all of a sudden there was a train there.
First and 10. Faulk again. From behind, Derek Smith.
Mike Martz is a guy that really likes to throw the football. We talked about it. They love to get the ball down the field, and with all the talent that he has, why not? He's got the highest pass-run ratio in the National Football League, and he's come out tonight and made a bit of a statement that he can run the football, but I wouldn't really get comfortable with the fact that he's just going to keep on calling runs.
Especially on 2nd and long.
No.
Which it is right now. Steven Jackson is in the game, their number 1 choice. Out to Jackson.
Pat, I'll tell you, that was just a great job by Mark Bulger finding Steven Jackson. Now there's a guy who they really like, taken in the first round out of Oregon State, bigger than the backs that Mike Martz has had. He went for trunk candidate a few years ago, a little back, a quick back, trying to match the speed of Marshall Faulk. When they talk about Steven Jackson, they say he has that same kind of speed, except he's 6'2" and 230. Just a bigger guy.
I want to see him in the open field.
Faulk is back. Martz says he has more ability than he thought he had. Here's Bulger back to throw. Caught by Torrey Holt. An outstanding catch.
Yeah, it is, but I said at the beginning, one of the things Julian Peterson told us is we cannot let Mark Bulger set his feet. And when he sets his feet, he's going to burn you. Take a look at number 10. Look at him set up. Now he sets, he steps up, and he sees Torrey Holt on the outside. Watch Torrey Holt. Here's the move he makes. In, out, and up. Man, is that nice.
First down, Rams. Marshall Faulk. 2 tight ends set up for Rams now. Faulk gets the carry and gets a couple straight ahead. Jeff Ulbrich made the stop.
Marshall Faulk getting spelled a little bit. Mike Martz mentioned last night, as we had a chance to visit with him, that he wants to try and get Steven Jackson a little bit more work. The reason he's wearing number 39 too is he's a bit of a confident young man, which you really like. He looked around and he doesn't believe there's another back in the league that wears 39, and he wanted to set himself apart, so he decided to take that number. I think it's cool.
Good for him.
Solid reasoning. Bulger had to throw it away. People were all around him. Brad Young led the charge. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, guys, I talked to Steven Jackson before the game, and he told me that playing behind Marshall Faulk is going to add so many years to his career because he doesn't have to carry the load physically or mentally. Marshall has taught him so much, how to watch film, how to see a pre-snap read, which he never understood before. And he said the transition to the NFL is all about mental toughness. That's the thing. And you're not going to learn more from any other back than Marshall Faulk.
3rd and 8. Isaac Bruce 20-yard pickup.
Pat, just before this play, Joe and I both looked at the board and looked and said number 80. They're going to have to find Isaac Bruce, but I'll tell you what, Mark Bulger just does a great job.
You see him set in the pocket. Marshall Faulk giving him time, steps up, steps up. You talked about it. That's something he's learning to do better. We talked about him not setting his feet, throwing on the move a little bit more. Never really leaves the confines of that pocket. Slides around very nicely.
First down, Rams just outside the 49-10. Faulk and good speed behind Bulger. This is Marshall Faulk. Some strength at the end of that run.
Well, there is strength, and I'll tell you another thing about old Marshall Faulk. He is absolutely one of the smartest running backs in the league, and he just got behind good speed. Look at 44. Okay, what are you going to do? If you're going to block, okay, I'm going to cut back inside and pick up 6 yards.
He takes Derek Smith and Ahmed Plummer for a little bit of a 4-yard ride.
He's going to be upset with you for calling him old.
I didn't say old.
No, you said old. And we're going to tell him, too. Both Pat and I are going to tell him.
At the 5. So he got 6 on that carry. Same setup. Faulk again with another good effort.
You know, they could still get a first down inside the 1-yard line.
Most rushing TDs, you see Marshall Faulk about to come off the 100. We saw Tim Brown get his 100th touchdown reception last week. Marshall has a chance here to creep a little bit closer to my old teammate John Riggins and get to the century mark.
Nobody's going to creep up on Riggins. They might catch him. Here's Faulk. Bangs to the 1, and he will stop right there.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what, I think he's got the first down.
Maybe.
And that's more important. It depends on where they mark it when they come in. I love the way the officials, when they run in. Marshall Faulk, take a look at this. He's right behind Goodspeed. Boom. He hits. Now the spin is maybe, well, I thought he was up closer. They're going to come up and measure this thing, and he may be just a tad short.
All right, I got you. What do you think?
How do you spot it?
Tell me now, Paul.
I think it's short.
You think it's short?
Short.
All right. You're pretty good at this thing.
You know, every facet of this game is so computerized and so calculated and so perfect, except how do you spot the ball? Where do you spot it?
Yeah, I know. They look at a spot, and the officials run into that spot and hope to God. And more often than not, they get it right. But they're short. And now you're 4th down.
I think you keep running it.
Why not?
I think you keep running it. Normally you'd think, well, maybe play action. No, I go over the left side. Orlando Pace is over on the left side.
This is the 14th play of this drive coming up.
There are no wide receivers in this ball game. Good speed. Touchdown.
Yes, a touchdown indeed. Mike Martz.
You know, Mike Martz has done this before. You know what? They lost in 2001. The Rams lost to New Orleans at home, just like they did last week. And Mike Martz's football team was called the finesse team. So he came out and ran the ball 41 times the next week against Carolina for 334 yards. This entire drive was Marshall Faulk on the ground. And I wonder if he's making a statement tonight.
Jeff Wilkins for the extra point, the ex-49er. That was Joey Goodspeed's first career touchdown.
Ooh. Ooh. Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light. Ooh. It's all here.
Who had the best day in the NFL today? The Sunday stud. Who was it? Tiki Barber? You see what he did. Tom Brady, David Carr, the rookie Ben Roethlisberger, or the veteran Emmitt Smith, who also threw for a touchdown in addition to running for 127 yards.
Emmitt.
How about Emmitt? How about
You
Emmitt?
can vote right now by
Way to go,
logging
Emmitt.
on to ESPN.com or NFL.com. We'll give you the results in the fourth quarter. Jamal Robertson returns the kickoff out to the 25, where the 49ers will have their second chance on offense. Rams lead it 7-0. The Rams 7, the 49ers nothing. The 49ers their second chance with the ball coming up at the newly named Monster Park.
Welcome to Monster Park.
You're right.
Got a ring to it. The Monster. Welcome to the Monster.
Tim Rattay, the 49er quarterback. Kevin Barlow, the deep back. Rattay looking. Ball slipped out of his hand. I don't know if this is a fumble or was his arm going forward.
This is a fumble.
Fumble. Tommy Polley hit him.
Leonard Little winds up with the football.
Little recovered.
Tommy Polley is number 52, the linebacker, and Leonard Little gets it. And Rattay pulls this thing. I think he tries to throw. Can't. That ball's back in his hands. He's not going forward. That is a fumble. Leonard Little picks it up.
You know, he just brings it on himself. You cannot hang in a pocket that long. You can't be there. There's got to be a clock. I know he's been out of the game. I know it's only his 5th game, but that clock is always a part of a quarterback. You can only stay so long, and then you got to get out.
First down, Rams just outside the 49er 10. A lot of time. Bulger goes down. Pressure from the outside. Flag on the play.
I'll tell you what, boy, Mark Bulger had a lot of time to throw the football, but that defense for the San Francisco 49ers did a great job.
Five-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I didn't get that.
I didn't hear the first part of it either.
It's a 5-yard penalty, defensive holding, first down Rams. That's what he said.
Bill Levy is the referee. Rams' first takeaway of the season just occurred a minute ago.
Well, there's Torrey Holt limping off the field just a moment ago, and that's not good.
He'll be back.
End zone touchdown. Sean McDonald on the back line. Strike.
Well, so much for making Mark Bulger roll out and throw the football, Joe, because that was a great throw. Mark Bulger's going to roll to his right. He's got Sean McDonald coming across the back of the end zone. And look at this. Perfect throw. Great catch.
Mark Bulger just continues to grow and grow in this offense.
Wilkins for the extra point again. 49ers look sharp on the opening drive, but the Rams have taken over and owned the situation since then. 14-0. The Rams lead.
Thank you for bringing me.
You look beautiful.
I've got an eligible beer in the cooler on Hector. Less taste, very unmacho. Replacing with great tasting, less spilling Miller Lite. Half the carbs of Bud Light. Wow. We've also got a disproportionately hot girlfriend. I will need further review.
Hi there.
I think I could.
Oh, please.
Hey, Tina.
Oh.
Miller, good call.
14-0. The Rams leading the 49ers. And after some opening sparks by the 49ers, the Rams have taken over things, taken advantage of the turnover. Tommy Polley caused Tim Rattay to fumble. Jamal Robertson on a return. Almost broke it out of the pack.
On a touchdown, Pat, what you're going to see is Sean McDonald take Ahmed Plummer inside and go to the corner. But what really makes this is Isaac Bruce ties up the underneath coverage. So there's nobody in Mark Bulger's way, and he can just throw it into the corner of the end zone. Nothing real complex about that little speed route. You speed the quarterback out. That's what sprint outs are called. And then flip it. Not a bad start for Mark Bulger.
Nope. 49ers ball on their own 33. Kevin Barlow, nothing doing to his left.
Well, we talked to Coach Erickson the other day and asked him about his football team. And, you know, you hear it every week. We got to not turn over the ball. We got to be able to run the ball, and we got to be able to stop the run. Well, you're down 14. And you know that you have to have Kevin Barlow run the football. And they went back to him on first down here on this play. No yardage.
Well, but still, Paul, you have to. Dennis Erickson was in the same situation last week against the Seattle Seahawks. Near the end of the first quarter, they were down by 17 with Ken Dorsey as their quarterback. And you can't turn the ball over that far in your own territory.
Screen pass. No good.
I'll tell you what's amazing. What the Rams are doing right now, they've got San Francisco down 14. There are no lanes or anything for the defensive linemen. All they're doing now is just teeing off and going to the quarterback. They try to set up a screen pass, and I'm going to tell you, Rattay couldn't even find who his receiver was.
It was Fred Beasley, but he was mixed in with about 3 or 4 Rams.
He was occupied.
He was busy trying to get through the traffic.
He was tied up on the phone.
3rd and 10. Harry Jackson has replaced Barlow. Out of the shotgun. Complete pass to his tight end, Eric Johnson. The end of the quarter's coming. First down after we change ends. That's the end of the first quarter. The Rams in control. They lead the 49ers 14-0.
The division series begins Tuesday at 1 Eastern on ESPN.
All right. Redskins lost a heartbreaker today to Cleveland. They're going to have to get that ship right.
They need some help with this 49er ship, too. Tay unloads out of bounds.
Got a flag on a play. They're going to have roughing the quarterback.
Tim Rattay has started out real good in the first series. Little play action, moving the ball around, getting it out of his hands nice and quick. Next one, he finds his favorite target, Eric Johnson, working the middle of the football field. He's spreading it around, outside left, outside, down the middle, outside right, but then hangs too long in the pocket. Causes the fumble by Tommy Polley. Leonard Little picks it up and gives the Rams an opportunity to be able to score another touchdown. But on that play, he got roughed. So they got an additional 15.
You know, it's how bad that is. You get roughed on a play where you're throwing the ball away.
Johnson switches sides. Barlow outside. Nothing there. Again, let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Guys, it's easy to understand why the Niners find it so difficult to put points on the board. Just look at the offensive firepower they've lost. Garcia and Owens alone accounted for 34 touchdowns on the ground and through the air. But for all the discord that was there, Kevin Barlow shared with us that those guys do still feel somewhat connected to their former mates. This week, he said Garcia left him a voicemail telling him to just stay pumped up, leave the losses behind. Kevin thought that was so cool, and then T.O. called too. So that's a little bit of niceties there for this team, that some of the guys who are gone still have feelings for the San Francisco organization.
Going deep. The pass is picked off by Demetrius Butler.
Boy, does Butler play this perfect. I mean, Cedric Wilson is going up the field and has the opportunity to be able to get on top of Demetrius Butler, but he looks back, plays the ball at its highest point, exactly the way coaches teach defensive backs to go after it.
Unlock Bundschuh Winery, established in 1858, is the oldest family-owned and operated winery in California.
Have to remember that.
Why?
I like that.
1st and 10 Rams. They've only... They had no turnovers until just a few moments ago. Now they have 2 for the entire year, that is.
There you see Cedric Wilson up top, and there's Demetrius Butler. He's going to play him. He does an excellent job as Wilson releases up the field. Rich Cody's going to come over and take away any opportunity for Tim Rattay to throw the ball inside. He just underthrows this. And Demetrius does an excellent job of going up, taking the ball at its highest point, and making the play.
2nd and 3. Bruce gets the first down.
Well, you know, Pat, you were just talking about it, that the Rams going into this game had not taken the ball away at all. And now they already have 2. And we said it to Marsh the other day, you know, on defense, doesn't it come in bunches? He said, it usually does. You know, you'll go 2 or 3 games, sometimes 4, and then all of a sudden you're going to get some turnovers. But these guys are creating turnovers.
Well, unfortunately for the 49ers, they have created a lot of the problems for themselves. Offensively, they've just given up the ball deep in their own territory in all their games.
March called timeout from the sideline.
Timeout, St. Louis.
I don't think they were going to get the play off in time. He called it out to save a timeout or to save a violation and a penalty. The Rams 14, the 49ers nothing. We're in San Francisco at Monster Park. Just named Monster this week.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the 49ers are facing a monster right now.
They really are. Bulls 7 out of 8. To Marshall Faulk. First down yardage and more. Adam Timmerman with a block out in front of him. Dandy.
I'll tell you what, this offensive line, you know, you're going to run over to Orlando Pace's side, but Adam Timmerman, the right guard, number 62, watch him pull, watch him seal. Now, and he just whacks it, gives, Marshall Faulk a chance to pick up a first down. This offensive line is really starting to click for this team.
Marshall had a sore back last night. It looks like whatever the problem was is gone.
Yeah, those big holes in the line.
Make it back, yeah. 9 carries, 47 yards for Marshall. Jamie Winborn on the stop. Let's go down to Susie again about Marshall Faulk.
Well, Pat, Marshall Faulk is one of those guys that doesn't care about the numbers. I asked him, what about rushing touchdown number 100? He said, when his career is over, then maybe he'll have time to take a look back. But right now, it's all about the wins, and it's wins that get you to the playoffs. He's been there. He's been to a Super Bowl. He said, that feeling is like nothing else in football. That's what it's all about for Marshall Faulk right now. Enough wins to get to the playoffs, where it's win you're in, lose you're out. That's the drama he truly loves now.
He has a long way to go. Here is Marshall Faulk, and he doesn't have as far as he did to go.
Marshall Faulk, you saw what we've seen him run the football. Look at what he's averaged. These are yards from scrimmage. Jim Brown, of course, the all-time leader at 125. Marshall Faulk in second place, almost 120 yards a game. A game. And tonight it really is his best performance. And Mike Martz has talked about the fact that he felt like this football team would struggle early and just get better and better on both sides of the ball. So far, it looks like it's happening.
Faulk and Jackson both are in the game. We asked if they'd be used together, and this is Jackson, the #1 choice.
You know, the other day or yesterday talking to Mike Martz, he came in, you know, really did. He had a smile on his face, and you said you've never seen him look like that. It's been a long time since you've seen him look like that. He said, I really knew what you were saying before. We would struggle at the beginning of the season.
Well, he had a new suit.
He looked good and happy.
Tight. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he knows his football team, and they really have not started throwing the ball deep downfield yet.
Outside quickly.
You know, guys, we were talking about calling this offense fast and furious and speedball. that doesn't necessarily mean that they just throw the football. What Mike Martz refers to under that regard is that they get in and out of the huddle quick. They shift at the line of scrimmage quick. The plays come in from the sidelines quick. They do everything to keep the defense on their heels. And so far, Mike Martz's plan has gone exactly the way any coach would want it to.
Remember about 4 years ago when they first started all that shifting? Maybe it was 5 years ago. Everybody was confused. Now people have adjusted to it, but they're still confused. Jackson.
Well, Pat, people generally thought when they changed the 40-second clock to the 25-second, and as we have the two ways the clock works inside the game now, they felt like there wouldn't be enough time to shift. But I think they underestimated the skill level of the players, the intelligence level of the players, and the creative nature of a coach like Mike Martz.
I totally agree.
Mike Rumph just walked off the field, the other corner, and he's hurt. He's got a hold of his arm. That time he tried to tackle Steven Jackson. Well, Steven Jackson is a load, and I tell you, he's got some outstanding speed. Now let's see if he's smart enough to stay behind good speed.
Close to the goal line, behind good speed, down to about the half-yard line.
Oh, you're talking about explosion. Watch this explosion by Steven Jackson. There's good speed, 44. And he sees the hole back to the inside, and this guy explodes. Mike Martz says you're going to see more and more and more of him, and he's a great relief for Marshall Faulk.
Well, Jamie Winborn, number 55, hit him square on the thigh, and he was still going forward.
Look at this guy, 6'2", 231, and can fly.
About a half yard. Bulger threw it high, I think, on purpose.
Well, you know, he completed that one to a cameraman, so he's still continuing his percentage up real well. Just watching Mark Bulger grow into this offense. Really went through a tough time last year with Kurt Warner on this football team because he kept getting asked the questions, how are you and Kurt doing, what's happening? Has nobody over his shoulder or behind him now. This is his football team. And to watch the command that he has, in and out of the huddle quick, line of scrimmage, plenty of time. 14 seconds he's at the line of scrimmage, can do whatever he wants.
Nope. Jeff Ulbrich, the first 49er to hit him.
That was on Steven Jackson, though.
Yep.
That was a rookie trying to make something happen outside. If he's decisive and just uses his power to cut up inside, I don't think that Ulbrich's going to make the play. See how he hesitates? Just that second of hesitation.
Well, he's kind of forced outside, but the thing about it is it gives you an idea of the strength of Jeff Ulbrich.
This is a Ram timeout as they'll regroup. Bulger comes over to the sideline. They lead already 14-0. We're in San Francisco where the Rams lead the 49ers 14-0 with 7:40 left before the first half comes to a close. Rams down at the 49ers 2. Fake to Faulk. Pass is incomplete. On the bounce.
Boy, that's a heck of a character job by this San Francisco defense. I mean, they really stepped up large. Tony Parrish, Ronnie Hurd, the two safeties, good pressure on Mark Bulger. They don't bite for the play action fake. There they are in the corner. Ahmed Plummer. There's Parrish right in Bulger's face. Doesn't give him a chance to set. Forces him to throw the ball away. That's a huge, huge defensive stand.
That's a big stop, as you say, for the 49ers. The Rams had it first and goal at the 1-foot line and couldn't get in. Wilkins pops the 20-yard field goal to make it 17-0 with 7:32 left before the half. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN is the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9 Eastern, Priest Holmes leads the Chiefs against Ray Lewis and the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Rams kickoff by Wilkins. Returned by the 49ers. Jamal Robertson fighting for extra yardage. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, the Rams are looking like a well-oiled machine tonight. Mark Bulger, so comfortable, 9 of 12, 96 yards and a touchdown. Mike Martz has been criticized for not using Marshall Faulk enough over the last couple games. 10 carries, 52 yards, looking for a rushing touchdown, number 100 tonight. Tim Rattay working himself back in, coming back from injury, missed the last couple games, responsible for 2 turnovers. That's also big for the Rams. 0 turnovers coming in, and they have 2 tonight, 17-0. Rams pitching the shutout.
7:24 left before the half comes to an end. This is Kevin Barlow straight ahead.
And I guess you'd say it's an understatement for Dennis Erickson's ball club, the 49ers, to generate some kind of an offensive drive. If they can get 3 on the board, if they can just get some confidence in this offense and not turn the ball over continually to the Rams, they have a chance. I mean, the Rams could make a mistake here or there and put them right back in this ballgame.
But their offense for this game was designed, let's run the football, and off the run we can run the play-action pass. Well, you can't run the ball, you can't run the play-action pass.
They were emphatic when we met with them. We have to run the football.
Exactly.
We have to.
Well, they've been better emphatically pick up this 3rd down, or they're not going to get another chance.
Leonard Little, you know, the defensive end number 91, he's the guy that recovered the fumble. But Leonard Little, I mean, he can get off the ball. Look at the speed. Now, he's going down the line of scrimmage, reading the run, and he's got the ball carrier so he can't turn back. He ends up on the play.
Gives you a lot of versatility.
Well, if you're going to run a bootleg or something, you got to go that way.
Play up, play down. First Pro Bowl selection last year.
He's on 3rd down. Rattay pulls it down and throws it into the ground.
Well, when
he was under pressure again.
Well, when you have Pat and Joe, when you have no time, no place to throw the ball, and your line is collapsing around you, watch the 4 white shirts. Watch them all. It all collapses around him. I mean, they're dragging him down. He has no place to go with the football.
You know, we talked about, Susie brought up the point of how many touchdowns we're missing, but they also are missing 3/4 of their offensive line. Jeremy Newberry, their center's gone. Ron Stone is gone. I mean, they just don't have a lot of guys on the line either.
Derek Dees is gone. Sean McDonald gathers the punt together. 45-yard punt it was, 9-yard return. Flag on the play.
Holding during the kick, number 23, return team. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Again, let's go down to Susie.
Well, we asked Mike Martz to compare the Mark Bulger of today and the Mark Bulger of last year, and he said it's mastery of the game plan, which is likely the most complex in football. Mike Martz showed us that playlist last night, about 200 plays, and Mark said he's noticed that before he can even call the play into the huddle, Mark already knows what's coming and he steps in and is calling it. Mark says the advantage is that this is all he knows. He thought this is what it was like in the NFL, and so other quarterbacks have come into this system and said, no, this is pretty complex. But the good thing is a lot of these plays carry over. At the beginning of the season, though, very difficult.
Marshall Faulk. Stopped by Spencer.
In the last series, defensive back Mike Rump tried to put a tackle on Steven Jackson, got his right forearm hit very hard. Ooh. And he was taken into the locker room at halftime for x-rays on that forearm. Sure didn't look very good.
It surely didn't.
We've seen 2 guys hit knees tonight. Ahmed Plummer got a knee on knee, and now Mike Rump with his forearm got a knee on knee. Jimmy Williams in at corner now.
2nd down. Faulk again. Tiptoeing up the sideline. I don't know how long he stayed in bounds.
He got a 1st down, and he got some excellent blocking. But let me just say one other thing about the San Francisco 49er team, and we're not making excuses for it. You're going to see Marshall Faulk now get to the outside. He can just watch this. You talk about balance and motion. He gets the 1st down. But you talk about this 49er football team, they have a cap problem. They don't have any money. They can't go out and get players. There are 14 rookies on the San Francisco 49er team and 1 first-year player. You got 15 guys that haven't played.
and you're $30 million over the cap.
And that's a fourth of your team you're talking about. Isaac Bruce near another Ram first down.
Isaac Bruce has come out this year and had, I think, his best start. Last year he only had 69 catches and 5 touchdowns. The perennial Pro Bowler is off to a terrific start. 25 catches coming into this game, 1 touchdown, averaging almost 14 yards a catch. Torrey Holt is the guy that they've gone down the field with. He's their big play guy. Isaac Bruce just keeps the chains moving. His longest catch so far this year, just 29 yards, but everything he does is so smooth.
He has 4 catches tonight for 42 yards. So,
well, Mr. Smooth is out there on the rookie Spencer.
Flag on the play. Close to first down yardage on the busted.
It's defensive offside.
Offside. Number 94 defense.
So it is a first down.
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
When you talk about Isaac Bruce, take a look at this. Most career reception yards. And look at the 2 guys who are behind, and these 2 guys are still playing.
But just look at how far they're behind.
Yeah, I know. But the problem is, Isaac might see something in the future, but they're still playing, both of those guys.
I mean, but you see Jerry Rice at 22,000 yards. It's like, come on. Jerry, you're unbelievable.
Bad news for the 49ers. We've just been told that Mike Rump has a broken right forearm. You could almost see that.
Well, talking to Dennis Erickson, and here's a guy that's gone now. He's gone for probably the year. But, he said to us, he said, look, we just can't go get any players. We can't get an $800,000 a year player. We got to go down and look at guys for like $200,000 that really know, they're almost out of football.
Well played to Marshall Faulk. Tagged down pretty hard, but he comes out of the pack, picks up a yard or 2 on his own.
I will say this, though. You can say what you want about the 49ers not having the ability to go out and just try and get players. The guys that they've got out there, the guys that are wearing those 49er uniforms are wearing with a lot of pride. They're playing hard. Their offense has really been the problem. They've made mistakes. Watching them practice, they practice hard.
3rd down. Call it 4. They're coming on a blitz. Bulger got away from one of the blitzes. Isaac Bruce.
Mark Bulger.
14-yard gain.
He's just so comfortable in the pocket, Pat. He feels the pressure coming from the left side. Look, ducks underneath it, still manages to step up, and he has the versatility in the way he delivers the ball. He can bring it 3-quarter, he can bring it sidearm, he can throw it underhand if he needs to.
2-minute warning. Bulger is 12 out of 15 for 122 yards and a touchdown. 17-0. Coming up at the half, it's the Kia halftime show with Chris Berman, the fastest 3 minutes, Boomer's halftime heroes, and Major League Baseball playoff picture. Coming up on the Kia halftime show. Chris Berman. First and 10. Bulger back to throw again. Caught. Isaac Bruce. 30-yard pickup.
The Rams have always had so much speed outside that you have to respect the fact that they will try and run by you. Isaac Bruce just comes in on a deep dig on the inside. You see Torrey Holt coming across on the other side, and they tie him up with the linebackers underneath, and Shawnte Spencer just lets him go.
6 catches, 85 yards for Isaac Bruce. His excellence continues. Steven Jackson is the setback out of the backfield. Bulger. Kevin Curtis. First down.
Mike Marshall said about Kevin Curtis, he said, now I'm going to tell you what, we got a guy that can fly. Well, I'll tell you what, he went in motion, went across the other side of the field, and he was flying. And Bulger got the ball to him. It was unbelievable. What great feet. Here it comes. But watch his feet at the end. I'm sorry, that's Kevin Curtis. Watch his feet at the end of this thing. Boom, boom, boom. Ahmed Plummer is just saying, wait a minute. Stop, stop, stop. And give me some help.
A left, a right, a right, a left, a left, a right.
And a Ram timeout.
That's their last.
You know the thing about this Ram team now? And you know, people want them to run the ball back in St. Louis, I guess.
Not anymore.
Well,
they used to.
Well, they like what they saw, but, you know, the thing about it is, everybody, you better realize, you're not going to tell Mike Martz how to run his football team.
This is about as efficient as I have seen an offense run this year. In the first half of this game, they have done nothing wrong.
Bruce at about the 2. Holt, I'm sorry, Torrey Holt.
I was talking about before the way Mark Bulger releases the football. We've seen Rich Gannon do it here so much. Watch where he throws this football from. Steps up in the pocket, looking down the field, looking. Now, this one's almost underarm. Look at that thing. Comes around the sidearm throw and makes the play.
Second down. Jackson. Touchdown.
You know what? Steven Jackson, Bulger, they had to see this from upstairs. When you look at the San Francisco 49er defense, there is nobody in the middle of the field. So they gave it to Jackson. They ran straight up the middle, and he gets the touchdown. But when you look at this defense, when you're down near the goal line, you've got to have somebody over the center.
And that time there was no hesitation by Steven Jackson. He just put his head down and moved the pile. And Torrey Holt's going for a ride. Why not?
23-0. Wilkins trying to make it 24.
Always keep the ball when you get your first.
Ten plays, 71 yards. They kept the ball 5.5 minutes. The Rams on that last drive. Wilkins' extra point is good. 24 for the Rams, nothing for the 49ers. The Rams totally in control, 24-0, 29 seconds left to play in the first half. Be interesting to see what the 49ers do here. They sit on it, or?
Well, no, they'll kneel down.
Yeah?
I think, yeah, this is one of those things where you a regroup might be in order.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. Mark Bulger, you know, when he came into the room last night, we're talking to him, he is really confident about this offense. He knows exactly what he's doing now. He doesn't need any help.
And Dennis Erickson, his offense just can't get out of their own way. Early mistakes in the game put them in the hole, put their defense in the hole, and that was it.
Arnaz battle on the return. Julius Peterson, by the way, we told you in the beginning, is wired, so we can listen to his comments, and he hasn't given up.
Let him know, Brick. Let him know, Brick. Let him know, Smitty. And we get there now. We got to get these sacks now. We can't miss these sacks. All right, now we've been in this boat before. Now what we going to do? Let's go. We've been in the same situation last week. What we going to do?
There's no quitting that kid.
Good luck. The 49ers haven't been shut out for 6 consecutive quarters in over 30 years. They were shut out by Seattle last week. Barlow. Timeout. San Francisco timeout. For more on Julian Peterson, let's go down again to Susie.
Well, he certainly did try to put a positive spin on the current situation. He said with so many young players, he told us that it reminds him of 2001, his second year, when all the youth was on the defensive side and everyone counted them out. But that year, the team did make the playoffs. This year, it's a total switch. All the youth is on offense. Now the onus is on this defense to pick them up, to grow as a team. And that process better start in the second half tonight.
Well, you have to admire his enthusiasm and his stick-to-itiveness, if that's what you call it.
They're professionals. That's what you're supposed to do.
Rattay.
Adam Archuleta decides that he wants to let the running back know that he's there. Terry Jackson.
Adam Archuleta has just been waiting all night to hit somebody.
He's been salivating just to have that shot.
He reminds you so much of Lynch. I mean, they don't just want to hit you. They want to hit you like right now and let you know, don't come here anymore.
They want to hit you and hit you hard.
Hit you. Pay attention to where I am.
The Rams defensively are taking on a little bit of a different personality. Larry Marmie has taken over for Lovie Smith, who's gone on to Chicago with the Bears and getting their ship squared away. They lost Rex Grossman, unfortunately. Tough break for that young man.
11 seconds remain. That's in the first half. Rattay. Eric Johnson.
You know, the one thing about the San Francisco team, when we were talking to Dennis there the other day, and, you know, about the guys that are injured, Joe, and all the people he has, these weren't guys that were hurt in preseason games. And people say, well, you know, we play so many preseason games, we get hurt. These were guys that got hurt in training camp before they even started playing preseason games.
Tim Rattay, the first day. He pulls a groin the first day. Now, here, if you want, you can throw a ball to the side. You have to throw the ball down the field because you passed up a 47-yard field goal attempt for Peterson. So this one's got to be a let it fly and hope for the best. Or throw it out of bounds.
Well out of bounds. Outscore here at the Monster Park in San Francisco. The Rams 24, the 49ers nothing. Let's now join Chris Berman for the Kia halftime show. Quickly go down to Susie Colbert.
I spoke to both coaches at halftime. First, Dennis Erickson, who, of course, is completely frustrated that they haven't been able to get anything done. They must win the second half, and they will stick with Tim Rattay, he says, and they'll see what happens. As for Mike Martz, he could find a way to criticize just one play. He said this team is playing with poise. They're physical. They're everything he's wanted this team to be. The one thing they have to do, the one test left, is to finish. That's the thing they haven't been able to do.
Mike Martz may say he doesn't read the papers and he doesn't listen to what people say, but every coach who says that does listen to.
They hear it.
Yes, they do. Marshall Faulk skating for yardage and getting enough, I believe, for first down. Stopped by Ronnie Hurd.
Who said he can't still run?
Yeah. Well, whoever said he can't still run doesn't know Marshall Faulk. Watch this. He's going to his left, and there's nothing there. Well, let me just peel it back here. Julian Peterson misses, and he gets back to the outside. Now, here's where he shows you just a little bit of speed. He still has that speed, even though he's getting a little older.
Again, you said, I'm going to tell him you said it twice now. Twice you said it. Pat, you heard him. I have a witness. Mike always takes a neutral position, but I'm sure Pat will side with him.
Two tight ends set up for the Rams this time. A running formation. And here is Marshall Faulk skipping into the hole as only he can do. Ready to go in either direction.
Mark Bulger had himself an excellent first half. I mean, what I was impressed with, not only the numbers, but his movements in the pocket, dodging people. Throws one a little bit sidearm to Isaac Bruce. Now, throws it perfectly timed over the middle again to Isaac Bruce. Out into the flat now to Kevin Curtis. Nice little dancing and moving. Sprints out. Let's throw this one to Sean McDonald for the touchdown. He shows you a lot of versatility. People may say, okay, let's get him moving. Well, he's proven that's not a good thing to have him do either if you're a defense.
Second down. Complete to Kevin Curtis.
You know, guys, watching Mark Bulger, I was impressed watching Kurt Warner play today for the Giants. I didn't think that Kurt Warner could do the things that he's doing. I'll be the first to admit, I think he's playing really, really well and gets the ball out of his hands so quickly. Watching Mark Bulger on that last play, you see that same type of quick read, quick set of feet, and get the ball out of your hands and into the hands of the receiver.
Well, Mike Martz was talking about Kurt Warner last night, saying he was almost psychic that he got the ball out of there so quickly to the right place.
Bulger's been seeing that same psychic.
Flag on the play. Intended for Kevin Curtis. You watch the way Bulger throws. And Joe, I'll ask you this. How many...
Illegal motion. Number 80 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
How many times does a quarterback, you hear you got to get you set, you got to turn your shoulders, you got to do... How many times in the game do you have a chance to get set and not have to throw on the move or sidearm or underarm or something like that?
I'd say about 10% of the time that you really get a chance to drop back, set, and throw. Unless you've got like Kerry Collins, for example, who we saw last week with that massive Oakland offensive line, where you do get a chance and you're a big guy, can step and need that room to step. But yeah, we're seeing Bulger dance around a lot.
Here's a name I've called before. Sean Landeta punted the ball. Arnaz battled to bring it back. A flag on the play.
Well, there's a clip on this play, and I mean a really stupid one. They all are anyway.
Well, I was just going to say, which one makes this one more stupid?
Well, because the guy's already by you, and then you shove him in the back.
Illegal block in the back. Number 35 receiving team during the return. 10-yard penalty. 1st down. Timeout.
Save one for me. The moonlight in your eyes.
Okay, we've got illegal use of the brain on Tom. Passing out beer with less taste than Miller Lite. Replacing with great tasting, less filling Miller Lite, half the carbs of Bud Light. We've also got intentional acoustic romanticism on Gary. Girls not buying it, tent invitation declined. Wait, what? Play beer.
Chicks dig music.
Miller. Good call.
The Bay Area was an independent country. It would rank as the world's 21st largest economy. Residents possess the 3rd highest discretionary income in the United States.
Means they're rich.
That's exactly what it means.
A whole bunch of rich people out here.
Well, let me just tell you guys something. On the very first drive, when the 49ers came out and they looked so good, they went 51 yards on that drive. Ever since then, okay, they got 1 yard there. Ever since then, they've had a total of 49 yards, including that last 1 yard run.
The first time in franchise history that they've been trailing by this many points 2 games in a row. That's not good. For Eric Johnson.
And also, when your tight end, who Eric Johnson is your leading receiver and continues to be the only guy that can get open, your offense is not going to be very productive. I mean, we've seen it in the Kansas City Chiefs, where Tony Gonzalez is their main man, and they have not been able to really move the football. For Dennis Erickson's 49ers, it's very similar. Now they're coming out in a no-huddle offense.
And it's 1st down. Barlow. Inoue Samoa.
Well, with the score 24-0, they will allow Kevin Barlow to get 5 or 6, and then they'll hammer him.
Well, I like what San Francisco's doing. Why waste time when you're down by this many points? If you want to come back and make a run at this thing, which they do, why waste time in a huddle?
Barlow again. Ooh. Nothing doing this time. Close to a 1st down. He needed a yard. I don't think he got it.
We talked about at halftime about this Ram defense. These guys are fast.
Yeah.
These linebackers.
They can all run. Plus, they're the ones that have had a burden of responsibility to learn this offense. We were talking to Aeneas Williams yesterday, and he said, you know, we've gone through a little bit of a change offensively, but, you know, the guys that have to learn it the most are the linebackers.
Now,
they make it, Paul, or no?
No. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man. You are so hot.
When you're hot, you're hot.
I mean, no, you are so good tonight.
Well, you know, the difference between you and I, Joe, I can see. And you have a problem with it. You know, you can't. You're so vain, you should be wearing glasses all the time. You don't.
I can't wear glasses all the time.
All right.
What are you going to do, Paul?
It's a quarterback sneak. Get the first down.
Absolutely.
You're on the move. You got, you only have, 6 inches to go.
And it is not 4-down territory either.
No.
If you don't make it, you just punt it away and go play defense. But
you give it to Barlow. Come on.
With Fred Beasley leading, right?
Right.
Tap and go.
You give it to Beasley. And he'll get the first down.
There you go.
Let's go down to Susie Colbert again.
Well, guys, you can add 2 turnovers tonight to Tim Rattay's resume of being snake bit. Just listen to this. Very first practice in minicamp. That was in May. Torn groin tendon. Almost back 4 days into training camp. Pulled a muscle in his throwing arm, and he was just about healthy. Separated his shoulder in the season opener. He said it's been tough to deal with. He knows, though, he's done everything he can. He's been in good shape, but he's got 800 people always telling him how he can get better in rehab.
Right of the snap, false start. Number 69 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I think that's one of the toughest things for a quarterback. You only get better with reps. Now, Tim Rattay has only started, this is his 5th game, so he doesn't have a lot of experience to draw from anyway. It's a different offense than they've had here in the past, and the best thing that could have happened to him was a chance to play. Ken Dorsey is the one that's really had a chance to get most of the work, and he's their number 2 guy.
Rattay in the meeting the other day said his shoulder felt fine, but he kept rubbing it the whole meeting.
And then you think about, what does Tim Rattay have to step into here? Well, Joe Montana only won 4 Super Bowl titles from 79 to 92. Steve Young, now Montana's in the Hall of Fame. Young should be in the Hall of Fame. Jeff Garcia went to 3 of 5 Pro Bowls that he played here, went 3 times. And Tim Rattay takes over now. And they don't really know if he can be the guy.
Again to Wilson, this time a complete pass, another 49er first down.
I'll tell you what's amazing about him, Tim Rattay, is that, and all these things happen, he separated his shoulder in his throwing arm. And look at the way this guy's throwing the football. Pretty well.
He said this week in practice is the best he's felt before going into the Atlanta game, which was their opener. Now, if you're the Rams defensively, now it becomes a question of pride. Can you shut him out? Keep him out of the end zone.
Miscommunication.
Rashawn Woods, their rookie wide receiver out of Oklahoma State, he decided to break it off and out, and Tim Rattay thought he was going up the field.
And Tim Rattay had to throw the ball. I'll tell you, these guys on the inside, the 4 down linemen for the Rams are just, they're running stunts and deals inside, and they are just coming after the quarterback. They don't even, when you're at a point like this at 24-0, you don't even think about them running the football.
Again, no huddle. Curtis Conway made that reception.
Aeneas Williams on the stop. I mean, he's playing the safety. Whichever way Tim Rattay turns, that's where Aeneas is going.
I love what Aeneas said to us yesterday. He said, big players need to make big plays. That's what we need to do with our defense. We have big players on this defense. We have to make the big plays.
He also said that he can get so much better.
Oh, here comes the blitz. Look out. Leonard Little,
right?
The inside gain.
Well, again, Pat, Leonard Little just lines up, and they're just coming after the quarterback because they don't care about the running game at this point. And Leonard Little, watch this. Watch where he comes from. All the way in the side and over the center. And no one touched him.
And this is an offensive line, like I said. Brock Gutierrez is playing center, but they lost Jeremy Newberry, their center, and they lost an anchor for this 49er offensive line.
Andy Lee to punt it. Sean McDonald back to field it. 32-yard kick. And the Rams will take over with 8:01 left in the 3rd quarter. With baseball tonight at 12:30 Eastern. Rams have the football. Steven Jackson is the lone setback. Handoff to Jackson. Anthony Adams led the 49er defense 24-0. before we start celebrating, guys.
These guys will keep running. Hey, you got to celebrate the little victories, Pat.
Well, yeah, but first of all, see, you're behind by 24, and you're paid to do that. That's what they pay you to do is to make those plays.
I know. I mean, this defense will fly around.
Second down and 13. Marshall Faulk is back. Pass complete to Isaac Bruce.
You know, we talked about Mark Bulger, and Julian Peterson says we cannot allow him to set his feet. Watch this. This is what he was talking about. He sets his feet. He steps up. Look at that throw. When you say, what, 10% of the time they can set their feet and do it?
Well, you know, that's about the third time in this game, though, with all the throws that he's made, about 21 throws. It's right about 10%.
That's seven catches for Bruce for 100 yards. Another 100-yard game. Every game this year. Well, Marshall Faulk, first down yardage brought down by Ronnie Hurd.
He's got to be closing in on 100.
Let me do this on young Marshall Faulk.
Well, now he's young.
Yeah, watch his footwork here. You know, when you see he sees him for as long as he has, you better not stick an arm out, because if you stick your arm out, it's going to be gone.
16 carries, 90 yards for Marshall.
I knew he was getting close to 100.
5.6 average. That'll get it done. Jackson now has taken his place.
Marshall Faulk has done an excellent job running the football, but Joey Goodspeed, young guy out of Notre Dame, watch what he does on Derek Smith. Comes around the corner. Look at the hole that he gives Marshall a chance to run through. And then on the play outside, Goodspeed goes in motion, and then he comes around outside. Salam Rashid gets turned inside with a good solid block. You talk to really great backs in this league, and they'll talk about, you know, the Joey Goodspeeds and the Fred Beasleys, the fullbacks that just make it happen.
Don't forget now, Joey has his first touchdown.
Yes.
Jackson, another carry.
You can see the difference. It's really interesting to compare the difference in the way Steven Jackson runs and you watch Marshall Faulk run. Marshall runs slower, but with a purpose.
Patient.
Steven Jackson, yeah, right. Steven Jackson is sort of, okay, let me see if I can find my way and figure out what I'm doing here.
Steven Jackson has got to learn how to run in the pros.
3rd and 8.
He's got to believe that the hole is where he's supposed to go and get there.
Marshall Faulk is behind Bulger. Passing complete in the direction of Torrey Holt. Sean McDonald, I believe, was the target.
That's a good job by San Francisco's defense. Dictate to the quarterback. Show him that you're coming 4 from his left. Make him throw the hot. And when it's 3rd and 9, you pound the receiver.
Landeta to punt it. 42 years old is Sean Landeta.
42 years young.
Young, I'm sorry.
Punters get younger.
He still can pop it.
Look at this.
Good kick. Battle all the way back at the 10 to handle it. 52-yard punt by Landeta. 10-yard return. Trev Faulk. At Munster Park in San Francisco, Pat Summerall with Paul McGuire and Joe Theismann in a Ram runaway. 4 minutes 56 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Rams shutting out the 49ers 24-0.
The last guy you just saw was an old quarterback.
Who was that? Let's go down to Susie Colburn.
Well, Pat couldn't have said it better. The route is on here in San Francisco. Marshall Faulk, frustrated that he hadn't gotten many carries the last couple of games. 90 yards rushing, is still looking for that touchdown number 100. Mark Bulger, efficient, accurate, 17 of 23, 186 yards and a touchdown. And Isaac Bruce, the epitome of a pro, 7 catches, 100 yards, off to the best start in his 11-year career. And the Niners haven't scored in 6 quarters.
Rattay gets it to his tight end, Eric Johnson again. You know, you look at the score, 24-0, the Rams are leading. 49ers haven't been able to do anything on offense. What, in your opinion, is the state of the 49ers?
Well, I tell you what, it is. Terry Donahue said it's very, very bad because they can't get anybody, and they're losing. They lose Rumph. I mean, when you start losing anybody that's a starter, there is no one really to replace him.
Well, you take into consideration the amount of money that they're over the cap.
Are they still over the cap?
I'll tell you in a second.
Rattay throws.
Now that they got the first down, I'll tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
The 49ers, everybody in the league has $80 million to spend. Well, the 49ers have what's called dead money. That means they're paying the people that are not on the field, not on the roster, not on the team. $29 million.
Such as whom?
Different guys. They're all over the place. I mean, it goes back all the way to 1996 is when it started. They dug a hole, and then 2001 they got in the same problem. So you have $50 million to work with. Everybody else has $80 million. And that's just a big problem when you have to go out and sign people. Now you lose a Mike Rumph. You lose a corner. So now you have to go find a corner, but you can't pay them a whole lot of money. So what you basically become, and you know, guys that aren't of a lot of quality, a lot of abilities, you know, they're the guys that you have to bring in. And it's tough to be able to compete against the Rams when you're playing with guys that are coming in really off the street.
And tough on a coach like Mr. Erickson.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that Dr. York, who owns the team, and I mean, he's got to realize that Dennis Erickson and Terry Donahue are faced with a very difficult situation. They don't have the players. This is a player's game. And if you don't have the players, it's tough to compete.
And I think the worst part about it is, Pat, is that, and Joe, that as we know after talking to them, and they're not going to really be that well off next year. No, it's going to be 2 years from now before they are. And they dug the hole, as you said, Pat, way back in 96, 7, 8, and 9, when they sold out because they thought they were going to get to the Super Bowl with their teams.
And they did. They went through it in 2001 and 3. They paid guys on the offensive side of the ball, and that's when their defense was real young. Now their offense is real young, and so they're a couple years away. And Julian Peterson continues to be the franchise player, and sooner or later you're going to have to pay him money.
Well, just one of the players that they're still paying is Jerry Rice, who's playing with the Raiders. But there are others scattered around the league.
Yeah, that's the deal when Joe mentioned the dead money. You guaranteed guys contracts an X number of dollars, and they're someplace else, and you still have to pay them.
It's the bonuses.
Yeah, the bonuses.
They're the things that kill you.
They're killing you, and these guys have got to wait 2 more years just to get out of it, or this year and another year to get out of this.
Incomplete.
Ryan Pickett almost picked this ball off.
When it happens to an expansion franchise or somebody who has never been the glory team like the 49ers, it doesn't sound so bad, but the 49ers have such great tradition, such a great history.
And I think Tim Rattay has stepped into some very big shoes. Jeff Garcia met the challenge when he was here,
right.
And now Tim Rattay is going to have to take this football team on his shoulders and grow with it.
And just one other thing about this before we get off this subject is that they were able to bring back 90% of their defense. And they know that in the National Football League, yeah, you have to have offense, but you look at the teams that go to Super Bowls. First of all, they're healthy teams. Number 2, there are defensive football teams. And number 3, they have a quarterback. And here's the situation where everything is on the defensive side for San Francisco. Offensively, they are really going to struggle.
Every one of San Francisco's quarterbacks on the roster, all 3 of them, Tim Rattay, Ken Dorsey, and Cody Pickett, all 7th-round picks.
Rattay. Pass caught down near the Ram 30.
Well, they're
Rashawn Woods.
getting closer to field goal range.
18-yard pickup on that completion.
Kick a field goal, score 3 touchdowns, tie the game, overtime, Paul. What are you thinking?
Is his mic on?
I don't know.
Is your mic, are you on? Are you talking to me?
Can't he see the scoreboard?
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Barlow.
He fumbled. But I think
lost the ball.
That was Terry Jackson.
Rich Cody. It was Terry Jackson. Rich Cody applied the hit.
And something finally went their way. They got the ball back.
Well, you talk about a collision. Rich Cody just sets the wall, and Terry Jackson is not going anywhere past it.
Rich Cody's going to remember the hit too.
Kwame Lassiter comes on in and finishes it off.
Second down, right at the 20. Barlow's back in.
Whoa. That was Cody again, and I'll tell you what, he's the one that knocks his ball down. He comes in on a blitz, on a safety blitz, and nobody touched him. There were just too many people. You're going to see him come in. He timed it perfectly, get up in the face of Rattay, and knock the ball down. That's a little plays in a row for him.
And that's a little bit different for the Rams. The Rams have been a basically corners up, safeties back defense for the last few years. Now they're getting a little more aggressive.
It's third and very short. Barlow has it.
The only problem with this whole deal is that we're coming to the end of the third period and they're running out of time.
Half a minute left.
Well, we saw the Rams when they took the ball deep in their own territory.
Excuse me, you're running out of time? I'm sorry. Yes, okay, Paul. Is your mic on?
Yeah, well, they are running out of time.
Okay, you're right.
When you saw the Rams run the ball a few times to deep in their territory, they're going to throw the ball this next series of downs a lot.
Kevin Barlow, and that should do it for the third quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Rams 24, the 49ers nothing. (24-0) as we head into the fourth quarter. Ball just outside the 10-yard line in the 49ers possession. Candlestick Point. Used to be Candlestick Park. Now it's Monster Park. Barlow inside the 10. Held scoreless for 7 consecutive quarters, ties the franchise record set back in 1974.
I'll tell you what, you know, when you look at that, it's third down, and if it comes to fourth down,
what do?
You kick a field goal, because, you know, the embarrassment of these guys when you're talking to them about being shut out, it really is. It takes its toll on the players, because there is just no way you ever want to be shut out.
On third down, Rattay. Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Aeneas Williams was almost going the other way. Whew, that was close.
Going to be holding against
the
Rams.
Number 31 defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Adam Archuleta. He doesn't think so.
Well, the Rams are trying to say, Ryan Pickett gets up and he's trying to say the ball was tipped. Well, that was just holding off the line of scrimmage. Adam Archuleta just grabbed Eric Johnson.
That's a pretty quick move by Eric Johnson to get away from him.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was a wide receiver at one time.
At Yale.
At Yale. Kevin Barlow, the deep back. Behind the line, Barlow brought down. Ryan Pickett with the penetration.
Ryan Pickett, their #1 pick in '01 out of Ohio State. starting to really settle in on the defensive side. Damian Lewis, another defensive tackle, who again was a #1 pick. There's the big guy. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for him to just muscle his way through and get penetration.
Gutierrez, the center, try to hold him.
Still couldn't.
15th play of this drive coming up. Barlow, the lone setback.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, yes. Curtis Conway on the slant from Rattay.
I'll tell you what, and there is absolutely no defense for this. They're going for 2 points. They're going to go for 2. But watch this pass thrown here. Rattay hits this ball. There's just really no chance for anyone. The safety can't get over. The corner isn't inside. That ball is perfect.
He does a nice job of looking down the field on his first step and then turning his head, just holding the safety long enough.
And they're going to go for 2. Why not?
Well, 3/8 or 24.
Very good, Paul. So those classes really paid off. Citadel?
No, well, those are the classes after Citadel. I went 2 more years.
I thought, oh yeah, that was your graduate course.
No running backs. Quick pass, incomplete, knocked down by Bryce Fisher. So it's 24-6, and it will remain that way. But the 49 at 8:30 Eastern. 49ers line the kickoff down to just inside the 10. Mike Fury on the return outside the 30. 24-6. The 49ers finally on the board. 13-27. In Major League Baseball, weren't they?
Oh, the Dodgers. What a comeback.
Yeah.
Finley hits a grand slam. Bottom of the 9th.
How about Houston?
Yep.
And the Angels. Marshall Faulk. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, Pat, Isaac Bruce at 32 years old is off to the best start in his 11-year career. Another 100-yard night receiving. That makes him the first player in 41 years to start the season with 4 straight 100-yard receiving games. And Torrey Holt told us that every receiver should and could learn from watching Isaac Bruce. He plays the way it should be played. Consistent, fierce competitor. Mark Bolger told us he's the most competitive guy he's ever seen. He's just so quiet that you don't think so, but he brings on a real hate for his opponents.
He doesn't seem like a guy who could ever hate.
But you know, when you watch him, just watch his hands, folks, and his feet, how he gets open. He sees the open area, catches the ball with his hands. Look at this. Nice. Just when you talk about soft hands on a receiver, he has them. And he also, most importantly, finds the open area.
He wants to be a minister when his football career is over. 7 catches, 100 yards. 3rd and short. Faulk may not have it.
Good
Bryant Young wrapped him up.
Good job. But San Francisco D-line has played better in the second half. And you can say, well, the Rams are just sitting on it. I don't think so. I think they're trying to get things done. Good block by Goodspeed again. And in BY, Bryant Young just holding him up until help comes along.
Well, if this ball is to the 42-yard line, which I think it is, and I think he made it, and he just makes it by the nose of the ball.
You know what? I'm gonna squeal on you. I am. You're getting help.
No, I'm not getting help.
Yes,
all you have to do is look. See that marker over there where the 3rd down deal is?
Yeah.
You look at where they put that marker. That's 1st down.
Okay.
And that thing is right on the 42-yard line, and the ball was on the 42. Look at the ball on the 42. Can you see that, Joe?
You're 4 for 4.
Let me help you here about football. Let me explain how this works. How you get 1st and 10. See? You move it 10 yards, Pat. I'll talk to you for a while. You move the ball 10 yards, you get a 1st down. Honest to God.
I believe you.
How long were you in the game before you realized that, before you learned that?
Well, not the first 11 years I played. It was the 14th year in television.
Bolger back to throw. batted up in the air. Anthony Adams got the big paw up and knocked it up.
Anthony Adams is not, he's got the big paw, but he's sure not a big guy. He's only 6 feet tall, 300 pounds, like a little building block.
Not a big guy, 300?
Well, height-wise, 6 feet tall. You're a big guy. You're big. What do you be, 6'4", Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put on about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Play tackle.
Leave Pat alone.
It's a little late for that. There's that typical Marshall Faulk move.
You know what's amazing about him? You know, you've been talking about him all night, Joe, and you did a package on this guy, but when you watch his feet, watch how quick he takes this move to the right. Watch. Bang, back to the right. He sees the hole. That's quickness.
How fast he accelerates after he makes his move. 20 carries, 112 yards for Marshall Faulk.
And that's the only thing that he does quick. You'll notice the drop step that he takes before he gets the ball is very patient, very slow, and then the burst comes.
Jackson.
A lot of whistles.
Flags come flying.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 63 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Okay.
Tercero. He's had a pretty good night. Starting in place of one of the regular starters. He's done a good job.
Chris Dishman.
Right.
Joe,
Paul,
come on. The officials have done a great job this evening.
Well, I think everybody, the officials, not a lot of penalties. We haven't seen a lot of balls down the field where you can't tell whether they're interference or not. Both credit to the offensive lines. They've done a good job of keeping their hands in. Well, it's been a clean game that way.
There you go.
Faulk again. Steven Jackson, sorry. Marshall gets a rest.
I'll tell you, Steven Jackson learned a few things from Marshall. That little,
he did,
little step to the inside and say, wait a minute, you know, maybe it's a lot easier running up inside where you get that quick hole than it is to try to carry it down the line of scrimmage where the fast linebackers get to you.
Speaking of fast linebackers, Julian Peterson made that tackle.
There's a guy who didn't have any camp. We have two guys in this game that had no camp. Orlando Pace, Pro Bowler. Julian Peterson, Pro Bowler.
Jackson.
You're learning fast, Mr. Jackson.
25-yard pickup. Let's go down to Suzy Culver again.
And you know, it's a little bit different type of mentoring going on with Marshall Faulk and Steven Jackson because they have the advantage of having a position coach in Wilbur Montgomery, the great back for the Eagles, who knows what it's like to play the game, understands the feeling of the game. So Marshall said he doesn't really have to teach the kid about playing the game. Besides, they play in such different styles. He doesn't want to try to overload him. Wants Steven to do what he does so well. Doesn't want to take anything away from him. But truly, these Rams, they are surprised that Steven Jackson is even more than what they expected when they drafted him.
Bulger throws it away.
You know, Wilbur Montgomery said something interesting about Steven Jackson. He said when he came here to the Rams, they're not asking him to be the chef. They just want him to bring the dishes to the table. Marshall is the chef when it comes to cooking the food out here. They just want him to add a little bit and spell him. And he's done an excellent job. Don't look at me like that.
You didn't think that one up on your own.
No,
someone had to tell you that.
I'm quoting Marshall Faulk. I mean, done a pretty good job in the Pac-10. You look at those numbers.
And Marshall, I mean, if you know Marshall, he loves to watch this guy run.
Jackson again.
Ease up, guys.
The Rams like Steven Jackson so much that they moved up in the draft to take Steven Jackson with their #1 pick. And he also was the first back to be taken. When he went by the Dallas Cowboys, everybody thought, whoa, can't believe that. The Rams just jumped on the opportunity to get him. Mike Martz has been very pleased. He's going to be hard-pressed to find things he doesn't like in this ball game on both sides of the ball. And even kicking.
I like what, and you said it too, I like what Mike Martz said about him. Again, that, you know, he's much more than we thought he would be.
3rd and 9. Kruger's going to try to do it himself. Gets down to about the 15. Not enough for a first down.
You know, Pat, you said Orlando Pace was the best maybe left tackle or tackle in all of football. I'll tell you something, folks, that he's been doing this entire evening. Watch Orlando Pace on the outside on Julian Peterson. Now he pushes him out. Watch this. Look at his footwork. Back again. He's right in front of Julian Peterson again. There's just no place to go. He's got such great feet.
Right. Jonathan Ogden is another one who we're going to see next week with the Baltimore Ravens. Another terrific tackle. Great feet on those guys. Orlando just shows up and goes to work when the season starts.
This effort's going to be from 33 yards for Jeff Wilkins.
No good.
No good. And the 49ers will take over from the spot of the kick. 24-6, the Rams lead it. Oh, we have a chance to see if the 49ers can put together another offensive drive like the last one. They had the ball the last time they scored.
They went no huddle that last time and just spread the Rams out.
To Kevin Barlow. Enough for a first. Good play by Rete.
Well, Leonard Little, number 91, has been all over this field. Watch the move, folks. Now he sees the quarterback, and he just heads right. Why he didn't get to him, I don't know.
Now, Justin Smiley manages to stay home that time. Last time he looped around, he came in clean on it.
Supposed to be a screen, but Barlow's in front of the screen. But it works nevertheless.
Good job of running.
Were you shocked by any of the other scores today?
Yeah, I was a bit shocked by the Arizona score.
Yeah.
I thought they did a terrific job today.
How about Emmitt Smith?
What, wasn't that terrific?
Throws a touchdown, scores a touchdown, and runs for over 100 yards.
Rattay back to throw it. Pass is caught by Curtis Conway in Ram territory. Pickup of 22 yards.
Tim Rattay doing a nice job of hanging in the pocket. This is where he operates out of. He does not move around a lot. And unless, if the 49ers have to use this as their choice of offense, it'd be a good way to go. Just spread the ball out. Kevin Garnett on the coverage that time. Tay spreading it around, getting the ball to some wide receivers, something they haven't had a lot. You see that.
13 out of 18 in the second half.
1 TD.
38 yards, 1 TD, right.
He's still, all the injuries he's had so far this year, and not playing that much. He's just starting to settle down.
He's still building.
He's got a very good arm. Pass complete to his tight end Eric Johnson again. 8 passes he's caught.
Last week against the Seattle Seahawks, everything that happened to the 49ers was so demoralizing. They get shut out for the first time in 420 regular season games since '77. They don't score. Here against a Ram team that comes out and really rolls over them early in the game and through the first 3 quarters, they've come back and showed their pride late in this ball game.
Terry Jackson receives that pass.
You know what you like about him is there's no quit in this football team. And when you look at what these guys are doing, and we're not pumping them up that they're going to really come back and win this football team. They have a chance, granted, but I don't think so.
No, they don't.
But I'll tell you what they're doing now is very impressive. They're patient.
Rattay drops it.
I mean, they're spreading the team out. They're spreading the team out. Dennis Erickson changed the philosophy of this offense. For years, it was a quote-unquote West Coast style of offense. He wants to be able to throw the ball down the field. That's what Tim Rattay allows him to do. They would have liked to have kept Jeff Garcia, but it goes back to the cap problem they had before. Couldn't afford him.
Incomplete.
That time he couldn't get anything on the throw.
Kevin Garrett
covering Curtis Conway.
The good thing about that play is it stops the clock.
Well, the other thing now too is now you're in 4-down territory. Now there's there isn't a question of trying to get some score on the board and eliminate all the problems of being shut out. Now you just go for the points.
4:17 left. Incomplete. High. Crowd thought there should have been interference.
No, first of all, that ball wasn't even catchable.
Let me tell you something else too. I think the 49ers are going to have to figure out a way to move Tim Rattay. Every pass he's thrown in this game for Dennis Erickson's football team has been a drop back pass. It's been a 3-yard pass. People are going to hone in on that, and they're just not going to let him do anything. They're going to stand at the line and swat him back in his face. They got to figure out a way as he plays more to move him around.
Boy, the defense, they just got their hands up and knocked the ball down. They know it's coming.
As was previously stated.
But wait a minute. Now, let me go back to something you said. He does not move well and throws the ball off, okay?
But you still have to try and move. He's an athlete. He's athletic. You can't drop him back 5 yards.
3 yards.
Throw. 3 yards every throw and expect him to be able to complete them, especially down here around the goal line.
Right.
Mark Bulger, we see him. I wouldn't say he's a runner, but he has mobility. Tim Rattay has mobility.
He's going to have to use it.
He's got it. Oh.
Jackson down to about the 1. Did not get in. Demetrius Baker, Butler, up to make the defense. Remains 24-6. And the Rams have the ball after that stand at the goal line. Marshall Faulk is the deep back. And he gets the carry to the 5. Let's again go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, the Rams are looking like the team Mike Martz wants them to be. Marshall Faulk, 20 carries, 112 yards rushing. Forget the questions about him wearing down. Mark Bulger mastering the Mike Martz complex system. 17 of 25, 186 yards, and a touchdown. Isaac Bruce off to the best start at 32. 7 catches, 100 yards. It's his 4th straight game with 100 yards receiving. First time a receiver has started a season like that in 41 years. The defense kicking butt as well.
Well, the 49er defense still playing as hard as they can play. They haven't given up yet.
Well, they're looking to the sidelines to see if they want to take a timeout. They have 3 of them left, and they're not getting it.
Just over 3 minutes left, now 3.
Well, if you let them run this far, you don't take a timeout now because they've let too many seconds run off the clock.
34 runs, 25 passes for the Rams. Dennis Erickson's defense tried to hold up.
Just remember, the Rams have not scored in this half. It was 24-0 at the half. This is a timeout. Here for a touchdown. Sunday start. Way to go, Emmett.
What a job Dennis Green has done with those Arizona Cardinals. They've lost 3 heartbreakers before beating New Orleans today.
Marshall Faulk on the carry. 2-minute warning. Heading up. Timeout. San Francisco timeout. The previous one was by the Rams. I don't know why. Then on ABC at 9 Eastern, Priest Holmes leads the Chiefs against Ray Lewis and the Ravens. On Monday Night Football, Sean Landeta back to punt.
Boy, as Dick Vermeil got a challenge with him at the Rams, or at the KC starting the way they are.
Landeta. Ball bounds away from the 49ers. The Rams down it. San Francisco will take over on their own 47.
Sir Pat.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you so much for spending these last couple of months with
Let me
us.
get located.
Get comfortable. We'll get you a rocker. No, thanks so much for coming in. I know Michael comes back and joins us next week. And Michael, we look forward to seeing you. But we want to thank you so much for being with us. God, it's been a thrill.
Matt, let me just say one thing.
No, his name's Pat.
I said, may I say one thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. It says Matt.
Don't ever interrupt me. I'm telling you, I'm really getting tired of it.
This is the way I want to remember it.
But Michael here, and I just want to say it really has been great.
Well,
to
it
have you
has
with
been
us.
for me. It's been great fun getting to know both of you better and having a chance to work alongside you. It's been a privilege.
It's a treat. You look great, too.
Thank you.
Really
Feel
thrilled.
good.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What does he? What doesn't he do?
That's right. You have all these companies and things.
He's got 8 jobs.
You're the busiest man I know doing something.
And let me tell you one other thing.
No, that's you.
And listening to the crew and all the people that are involved with ESPN doing these games, the guys have really enjoyed it.
Well, as I said, it's been an honor. It's been different, but it's been great. I never worked with 2 guys before. It's always been one.
What do you think?
Double the pleasure. Double the fun.
It's and
somebody to argue.
And the most difficult part of that whole thing, though, is one smart guy.
Well, now wait a minute.
It ain't the guy in the blue shirt either.
There are 3 of us here.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the guy in the blue shirt.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that compliment.
Okay.
But it really has been great. Thank you.
You know, it's been great to be back involved with the teams, back discussing strategy with you guys, and back and talking to the players and the coaches. The whole thing has been, well, I didn't think I'd be doing it again. And
We're glad you did.
It's been great to do it again. 2-minute warning. 24-6 Rams.
It's chilly out there.
Stay tuned for Sports Center coming up next with Stuart Scott and Linda Cohn. Why Clemens' illness helps the Astros. Michael Vick versus the Falcons D. What's more important? And packed again. Is Lambeau Field cursed? Rattay throws short. Under pressure.
Under a lot of pressure.
Tyoka Jackson coming in and putting the pressure on him. Marshall Faulk having a really solid night. Mike Martz all the dogs ought to be off on Monday. Everybody that talked about, well, you know, Coach Martz, you just don't have any balance in your offense. I think he's balanced it out pretty well. Torrey Holt with only 3 catches tonight, all in the first half, and Isaac Bruce with his 4th 100-yard receiving game. He's off to the best start of his career probably in the last 5 or 6 years.
Pass complete to the tight end Eric Johnson. He's had a good night.
Oh, man. I think this Eric Johnson has got some great hands.
9 catches he has for the evening for 111 yards. Pretty good for a tight end. Pretty good for anybody. Barlow. Hit from behind.
Tell you what's great about it for the tight end. Everybody knows that he's his number 1 target.
Go-to guy.
Rattay. He's their go-to guy, and he still catches 9 balls.
And I think also for Tim Rattay, it's important that he is playing. I mean, hasn't played a lot of football, wanted to get off to a start, played against Atlanta for a little bit, and then got hurt in the opener. And now it's just a question of getting more and more comfortable into this game. But of course, you know, you take a look at where St. Louis has to go next week. I mean, the NFC West is not an easy place to be. We talked about, there they are, Seattle at 3-0, St. Louis at 2-2 now.
2-0 in the division.
Right, and Arizona. I mean, Denny Green's ball club has, even though they've lost 3 games, they've lost 3 very close games, played very well today. And San Francisco is going to be a team that somewhere along the line I think is going to ruin somebody's season as they get a little more comfortable, a little more confident.
Rattay drops. Outside to Conway. He picked up a first down.
Curtis Conway, the pro's pro. They signed him to be a leader to the young receivers. Rashawn Woods, their number 1 pick. Derek Hamilton, who's not active tonight, their 3rd round pick. Young guys that can learn from us. Aeneas Battles only in his 2nd year. Brandon Lloyd only in his 2nd year. Ooh.
Terry Jackson makes the reception. Gets close to a first down, but not quite.
Timeout, San Francisco.
I think that's their last. Let's again go down to Susie Colbert.
Guys, both teams gave up a lot of talent in the offseason, as you know. Talented players who will say were less than happy. Kurt Warner, of course, well, the marriage just wasn't working anymore with his team. Now 3-1 with the Giants on the season, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, looking more like the Kurt Warner of old. And Terrell Owens, of course, disgruntled in San Francisco. 6 touchdowns, leads the NFL in touchdown catches. Dennis Erickson said, of course they wish they had his talent, but he just couldn't exist here. And sometimes relationships just deteriorate to the point where you just can't resuscitate them and bring them back. That's what happens in the league.
And that's what Mike Martz said about Kurt Warner. It was just time for him to move to another place, another location. Incomplete. In and out.
That was a nice throw.
It hit him right in the mouth.
That was a nice throw.
I believe it hit him right in the mouth.
Rattay 29 out of 45 for 276 yards. Courageous effort for a guy who missed most of training camp because of various injuries.
This is his training camp now. Really, I mean, he's going to keep on going. For the Rams, they felt like the first month of the season was going to be a matter of growing as a football team, offensively getting more in sync, defensively learning about one another. Looks like they have.
3rd and 1. Caught by Eric Johnson again.
Big test out in Seattle next week for the Rams. They go back out to the West Coast, Great Northwest, to play the Seahawks, who just don't lose at home.
They didn't lose a game last year at home.
8-0 at home. Started on the road with 2 wins and won their home opener.
Well, in Seattle, really.
Touchdown.
I told you Tim Rattay could move around.
Rashawn Woods from 18 yards away.
Going to go for 2 points.
16 seconds.
Well, Joe, you finally got what you wanted. Tim Rattay rolling out to the outside. He was forced out to the outside. But watch him turn his body to be able to make this throw, and that is the perfect throw.
Yeah, I mean, he's athletic enough to do it. I think as Ted Tollner gets more comfortable with him, his offensive coordinator, he'll give him a chance to get out of the crosshairs of that pocket.
Rashawn Woods' first touchdown as a pro. That's the 3rd player tonight who scored his first touchdown as a pro. The 3rd. Rattay looking, throwing, 2 points good. Curtis Conway.
Hey, Pat, again, we want to thank you for being with us with just these 6. Now, here's some of the best of our moments together. Let's see what this looks like. Cut it up. Cut it up. Old Giant wearing a Packer green peace head. Boy, oh boy. I like that. That's good. You look regal. Look like regal cheese.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use a nice bottle of wine. Can you say big soup?
Of course I can.
Well, let's hear it.
There's more to it than that.
Well,
I mean,
give us the whole thing.
You got to hunker down and you got to get close to your knees. And
come on. Come on.
How's that?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sounds like Paul at dinner, though.
Thank you.
Well, are you pig
I never thought I'd do that.
That was priceless.
Have you ever done it on TV before?
No.
I'll tell you, you did.
Never wore a cheese head either.
No, be proud of you.
All these firsts with us.
But then you said I look regal, and I've never been called regal before.
All these firsts.
Yeah.
The president of Regal Cheese, Pat Summerall.
The cheese head didn't fit. I guess it was the headset.
Well, Paul's did, unfortunately.
Well, he didn't.
It's understandable.
He looked great in.
That's right, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
You didn't
No
look
regal, no nothing.
No, you didn't look regal. You just looked. It looked like it.
Illegal block in the back. Number 39 of the receiving team during the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down, St. Louis.
Well, I'll tell you, it's for the Rams, it really is going to be interesting next week when they go to Seattle.
I think they get the real test to see if they're where they want to be. Mike Martz thinks they're there, but Mike Holmgren's got his ball club playing really well, and I don't know if there's another quarterback playing as well as Matt Hasselbeck. Maybe Donovan McNabb in Philadelphia, but he's sure, and Peyton Manning, of course, but boy, Matt's playing well.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Ray Lewis.
Don't leave Tom Brady out of the group.
Yeah, it's another one. Yep. Next week, it's Baltimore and Washington.
Mike Martz, some of the heat will be off of him this week. Stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up next. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Culver, and our entire ESPN crew, Pat Summerall saying goodnight from Monster Park in San Francisco. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.